Aloha, namaste. My name is Janapati Das, and we're going to continue on with our Krishna book reading today. Please accept my respects. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto my Guru Dev and unto my spiritual grandfather, Isi Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. We're going to do some hearing and chanting of Krishna's names right now, so please feel free to join in. again, we are continuing with our wonderful story of Krishna and the Gopis in the forest, the Rasa dance. And so as we continue from our story, Krishna had been with the Gopis, and the Gopis, they were spending time in the forest, and they were joking and having a good time in the forest. And the Gopis proceeded to get very, I guess, a little bit of pride, feeling like they were the most fortunate, very proud. And Krishna doesn't like his devotees to be proud or feeling better than other people, because a devotee is lower than the straw on the street, not feeling worthy or greater than any other devotee, but actually the lowest and most fallen of all devotees. So Krishna disappeared, and then in the process, the Gopis kind of freaked out. They freaked out and started looking around, started talking to the plants and the animals. Have you seen the son of Nanda Maharaj? Come this way. And they started calling out Krishna's name loudly and enacting the pastimes of Krishna and taking on different parts. So it's very wonderful. They're having this mood of love and separation with Krishna. And then they were thinking, we see that there is a point here where they probably took a topmost gopi with him, and that was Radharani. But then they find that Radharani also had gotten proud too, so they felt sorry, and so they were all continued looking for Krishna and going through the forest and calling out for Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we're going to read chapter 31, entitled Songs by the Gopis. One gopi said, "My dear Krishna, ever since you took your birth in this land of Rajabhumi, everything appears glorious. The land of Vrindavan has become glorious, and it is as if the goddess of fortune is personally always existing here." Well, the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, and sometimes you've seen these pictures, and it's the goddess Lakshmi is massaging the feet of Lord Vishnu, or lying on the chest of Lord Vishnu, serving Lord Vishnu. And as Vishnu is an expansion of Krishna, Lakshmi is also an expansion of Radharani. So it would be normal for wherever Krishna is present, the goddess of fortune is. So one is very fortunate to serve Krishna, and therefore the goddess of fortune feels obliged to bless the devotee who serves her master, Lord Krishna. But it is only we who are very unhappy, because we are searching for you, but we cannot see you with our greatest effort. Our life is completely dependent upon you. Therefore, we request that you again come to us. I love these prayers. These prayers by the Gopis are so wonderful, because the Gopis are the topmost, most elevated devotees of Krishna. And you can meditate and reflect on the prayers of the Gopis. It's so beautiful. Another gopi said, "My dear Krishna, you are the life and soul, even of the lotus flower that grows on the water of lakes made transparent by the clear rains of autumn. Although the lotus flowers are so beautiful, without your glance, they fade away. Similarly, without you, we are also dying. Actually, we are neither your wives nor slaves. You never spent any money for us, yet we are simply attracted by your glance. Now, if we die without receiving your glance, you'll be responsible for our deaths. Certainly, the killing of women is a great sin. And if you do not come to see us and we die, you will suffer the reactions of sins." I love that. The Gopis are, of course, in this mood of under the Yoga Maya, just like they don't really think about Krishna. Often, devotees go in and out of it, but they often don't think about Krishna as being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayan. They think of Krishna as their dearmost beloved. And so they like to chastise and tease their their beloved. We are being killed by your absence. You should consider how you are responsible for killing women. We are always grateful to you because you have protected us many times from the poisonous waters of Jamuna, from the serpent Kalia, from Bakashura, from the anger of Indra, and his torrents of rain, from forest fire, and so many other incidents. You are the greatest and most powerful of all. It is wonderful for you to protect us from so many dangers, but we are surprised that you are neglecting us at this moment. Dear Krishna, dear friend, we know very well that you are not actually the son of Mother Yashoda or the cowherd man Nanda Maharaj. You are the supreme personality of God and the super soul of all living entities. So it's always going kind of in and out of that, right? With the Yoga Maya. You have, out of your own causeless mercy, appeared in this world, requested by Lord Brahma for the protection of the world. It is by your kindness only that you have appeared in the dynasty of Yadu. O best in the dynasty of Yadu, if anyone afraid of this materialistic way of life takes shelter at your lotus feet, you never deny him protection. Your movements are sweet and you are independent, touching the goddess of fortune with one hand and in the other bearing a lotus flower. This is your extraordinary feature. Please therefore come before us and bless us with the lotus flower of your hand. Dear Krishna, you are the killer of all the fears of the inhabitants of Vrindavan. You are the supremely powerful hero, and we know that you can kill the unnecessary pride of your devotee as well as the pride of women like us simply by your beautiful smile. We are simply your maidservants and slaves. Please therefore accept us by showing us your lotus-like beautiful face. Dear Krishna, actually we have become very lusty, having been touched by your lotus feet. Your lotus feet certainly kill all kinds of sinful activities of devotees who have taken shelter there. You are so kind that even the ordinary animals take shelter under your lotus feet. Your lotus feet are also the residence of the goddess of fortune, yet you dance on the head of the Kaliya serpent with them. Now we are requesting you to kindly place your lotus feet on our breasts and pacify our lusty desires to touch you. O Lord, your attractive eyes, like the lotus, are so nice and pleasing. Your sweet words are so fascinating that they please even the greatest scholars, who will also become attracted to you. We are also attracted by your speaking and by the beauty of your face and eyes. Please, therefore, satisfy us by your nectarian kisses. Dear Lord, words spoken by you or words describing your activities are full of nectar, and simply by speaking or hearing your words, one can be saved from the blazing fire of material existence. Great demigods like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva are always engaged in chanting the glories of your words. They do so to eradicate the sinful activities of all living entities in the material world. If one simply tries to hear your transcendental words, he can very quickly be elevated to the platform of pious activities. For the Vaishnavas, your words give transcendental pleasure, and saintly persons who are engaged in distributing your transcendental message all over the world are first-class charitable persons. This was confirmed by Rupa Goswami also when he addressed Lord Chaitanya as the most munificent incarnation, because Lord Chaitanya distributed the words of Krishna and love of Krishna free of charge all over the world. So that's Namo Mahavadnaya Krishna Prema Dayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gora Tavishe Namaha. That's the prayer that Rupa Goswami prayed. Dear Krishna, the Gopis continued, you are very cunning. You can imagine how much we are distressed simply by remembering your cunning smile, your pleasing glance, your walking with us in the forest of Vrindavan, and your auspicious meditations. Your talks with us in lonely places were heartwarming. Now we are all aggrieved to remember your behavior. Please save us. Dear Krishna, certainly you know how much we are saddened when you go out of Vrindavan village to tend the cows in the forest. How we are afflicted simply to think that your soft lotus feet are being pricked by the dry grass and the tiny stones in the forest. We are so attached to you that we always simply think, that we always think simply of your lotus feet. O Krishna, when you return from the pasturing grounds with the animals, we see your face covered by your curly hair and dusted by the hoof dust of the cows. We see your mildly smiling face, and our desire to enjoy you increases. O dear Krishna, you are the supreme lover, and you always give shelter to surrendered souls. You fulfill everyone's desire. Your lotus feet are even worshipped by Lord Brahma, the creator of the universe. To whomever worships your lotus feet, you without a doubt always bestow your benedictions. So kindly be pleased with us and keep your lotus feet on our breast, and thus relieve our present distresses. Dear Krishna, we are seeking your kisses, which you offer even to your flute. The vibration of your flute enchants the whole world, and our hearts also. Kindly therefore return and kiss us with your mouth of nectar. When Lord Krishna finally reappeared and assembled with the gopis, he looked very beautiful, just befitting a person with all kinds of opulences. In the Brahma Samhita, it is stated, Ananda Chinmaya Lasha Prati Bhavitabihi. Krishna alone is not particularly beautiful, but when his energy, especially his pleasure energy, represented by Radharani, expands, he looks very magnificent. The Mayavada conception of the perfection of the absolute truth without potency is due to insufficient knowledge. Actually, outside the exhibition of his different potencies, the absolute truth is not complete. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa means that his body is a transcendental form of eternal bliss and knowledge. Krishna is always surrounded by different potencies, and therefore he is perfect and beautiful. We understand from Brahma Samhita that Skanda Purana that Krishna is always surrounded by many thousands of goddesses of fortune. The gopis are all goddesses of fortune, and Krishna took them hand by hand on the bank of the Jamuna. It is said in the Skanda Purana that out of many thousands of gopis, 16,000 are predominant. Out of 16,000 gopis, 108 gopis are especially prominent. And out of 108 gopis, 8 gopis are still more prominent. Out of 8 gopis, Radharani and Chandravali are prominent. And out of these 2 gopis, Radharani is the most prominent. When Krishna entered the forest on the bank of the Jamuna, the moonlight dissipated the surrounding darkness. Due to the season, flowers like the kunda and kandamba were blooming, and a gentle breeze was carrying their aroma. Due to the aroma, bees were also flying in the breeze, thinking that the aroma was honey. The gopis made a seat for Krishna by leveling the soft sand and placing cloths over it. The gopis who were gathered there were mostly the followers of the Vedas. In their previous births, during Ramachandra's advent, they were Vedic scholars who desired the association of Ramachandra in conjugal love. Ramachandra gave them the benediction that they would be present for the advent of Lord Krishna, and he would fulfill their desires. During Krishna's advent, the Vedic scholars took birth in the shape of the gopis in Vrindavan as young gopis. They got the association of Krishna in fulfillment of their previous birth's desire. The ultimate goal of their perfect desire was attained, and they were so joyous that they had nothing further to desire. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. If one attains the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then he has no desire for anything. When the gopis had Krishna in their company, not only all their grief, but their lamenting in the absence of Krishna was relieved. They felt they had no desire to be fulfilled. Fully satisfied in the company of Krishna, they spread their cloths on the ground. These garments were made of fine linen and smeared with the red kunkuma, which decorated their breasts. With great care, they spread a sitting place for Krishna. Krishna was their life and soul, and they created a very comfortable seat for him. Sitting on the seat amongst the gopis, Krishna became more beautiful. Great yogis like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, or even Lord Shesha, and others always tried to fix their attention upon Krishna in their heart. But here the gopis actually saw Krishna seated before them on their cloths. In the society of the gopis, Krishna looked very beautiful. They were the most beautiful damsels within the three worlds, and they assembled together around Krishna. It may be asked herein how Krishna seated himself beside so many gopis and yet sat alone. There is a significant word in this verse, Ishvara. It is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam. Ishvara refers to the Supreme Lord as a super soul seated in everyone's heart. Krishna also manifested this potency of expansion as Paramatma in this gathering with